We mowed the hay yesterday. Got a beautiful day today, a lot of sunlight, and it's drying out. So we're gonna start raking. My dad and uncle are setting that up right now. My uncle's gonna go do that. I started planting corn again. It's getting dry enough. And I'm at the point now where I really don't have any cornfields I can plant because we're not set up. We have some more manure hauling to do and then vertical tillage work before we can plant the rest of the corn. I'm gonna go ahead and switch over to beans now, try to get all the beans planted. We're gonna use the same planter, plant on the 30-inch rows just like the corn. The only thing is we have to get the little bit of corn seed out of these boxes, and then we'll have to switch the meters over. We have to use a special meter for soybeans. We're gonna plant at a different rate, so we'll have to take these apart a little bit. It doesn't take too long.
See, that's not super green anymore. It's
making sure it's dry enough. Yeah, it feels good.
Yeah, I think it's good.
My uncle is starting to rake now. They're gonna be here to chop in an hour or two. So we're gonna put it here in the second harvest store silo, the 60-footer. If you remember, we were cleaning this out about a month ago and it was really junky. There's a lot of junk in the bottom of it. We actually figured out why that was. So the roof actually had a couple pinholes in it. We got caulked up. And then the floor, we had the pros come in and look at it and they said the floor was bad. So it had an old metal floor in it. They tore that out and put it's like a concrete floor now. That is a lot better. These silos are completely different. They're sealed up top and then they feed out of the bottom. So we're not gonna have to level the feed afterward. We're just gonna throw it in and close the doors and we'll be done. Just gotta get this bottom door closed, and this unloader actually doesn't have belts on it, so I'm gonna put these 4 belts right here. We're gonna have to run this unloader while we're filling because all that weight's gonna be coming down on the chain in there and it wouldn't move if we just let it sit the whole time. So we gotta make sure this thing is running. Had these belts for the last few weeks, I just never got around to putting them on, and now I need to do it right now before we fill it. Got the 4 belts on here. Just gotta put this shield on yet. This is ready to go. Gotta just put this door on here and then we can fill. I climbed this silo now. Gonna open up this door on top here, slide the chute in so we can fill. My uncle is right there with the tractor, raking that bottom field. You can see we've been working at manure here. These sealed silos are a lot easier to fill than those concrete ones because those we have to level off, set the unloader up. These are nicer in some ways.
Okay, that's good.
Got that silo set up. Now I'm gonna work this planter again. Just gonna have to pull these boxes off one at a time and dump them into that bag there. Now I set all the seed hoppers here. We're gonna have to remove these meters from the bottom of them, and it's real simple. There's just 2 bolts. Pop these off, and then these are the soybean meters right here. So these have little fingers in them. They're very precise. They'll pick up 1 seed at a time, and there won't be any doubles or anything. With soybeans, it's a little less precise, and we'll just kind of keep a nice even flow. But it's not a big deal if the seeds are real close together or whatever, because we see it at a higher rate with soybeans. They're here to start chopping now. Gonna have to finish this later and make sure they're set up at the silo and everything here. We got the blower unit set up, and I had to get a hose here. You guys, with dry haylage like this, it can get gummy, and it blows better if you have some water running in like that. My uncle had to be somewhere for a bit. Gonna have to keep this rake moving to stay ahead of the chopper, so I'm gonna do this until he gets back. We're starting with the driest fields. We want to get the driest field on the bottom, so they're gonna do the one field at the home farm. It had a lot of grass in it, and then come over here to this rented place. There's some grassy fields here as well. We want good dry feed for those blue silos, those sealed silos. Right around 50% moisture is good. I did a couple fields here. Looks like my uncle just got back. Just gonna go up to the farm there and he'll take this, and then we can work at that planter again, hopefully. All right, he's taking over. Just gonna go out here and watch the chopper for a little bit, then we'll get going. Okay, back here now. Let's get these meters off of here, switch them out. Got them switched over, now we're ready for seed. Got my soybeans here in the back. These are Liberty Link soybeans, so they're actually not Roundup ready. Can't spray with Roundup. We like the Liberty because we deal with some mare's tail, some weeds that we can't kill too well with Roundup. The last 3 or 4 years now, we've been planting Liberty beans. Been really happy with them. I got the planter loaded. These guys are finishing up chopping and I'm gonna go start planting soybeans. With soybeans, we don't run any liquid fertilizers in these tanks. That simplifies loading a little bit. So that is one thing that makes soybeans handier. The downside is that we plant a lot higher population. We're gonna need to add seeds a lot more often. It's about 1 bag per acre. All right, let's see if we can get over there. We're driving to another farm here. We're heading back here now where we had harvested triticale last week. Got 30 acres, we want to put all on that in soybeans. And I'm hoping to just no-till straight in, we'll see how it goes. We haven't touched these triticale fields since we harvested it. We didn't put any manure on or anything. Soybeans don't really need manure, we put that on the corn fields. It would help maybe some, but we don't really have a ton of manure to haul over here, and it's kind of far to haul it anyway. So I'm gonna set these shallower so that our planting depth is around 1 inch. By pushing this forward, it's gonna keep these wheels from being able to rise as much, which will keep the disc shallower and it'll plant shallower. It can be a struggle to get the ground fit after you harvest spring forage like this. And we've had some trouble in the past planting corn into it. just because you got the roots here that are kind of keeping the moisture in. But I'm hoping that we can get the soybeans in the ground this way, save us some tillage. We've actually had a really good spring. We didn't have rain right before we harvested, so we didn't compact the soil a ton when we were in here with big equipment. So I think we should be able to plant it. We'll see how it goes here. I do have some liquid in the tanks. I just have the valves turned off. That's for the corn. We'll use that again once we get back to corn planting. I just planted like 20, 30 feet here. See what it looks like. So you can see it's making a trench here and it's not closing up extremely well. It's kind of knifing in and it's just placing the seeds down here. So I think it'll work. I probably wouldn't be happy with corn if we were doing this, but I think soybeans, it should be just fine. I'm gonna keep planting. I'm not overly happy with how it's closing up there, but we're not as picky with soybeans. I really don't want to come over to this farm and try and do any tillage like with the gen till or anything. It's a little too rocky for that. I set the planter just a little bit deeper to try and get up the seeds in the ground a little bit more, and hopefully it'll close up a little better. Here's this spot where I didn't get triticale planted because I ran out of seed. It's just weeds here, and it's planting a lot better. The ground's definitely dry enough. It's just the roots of the triticale that cause it to have trouble closing up. I finished this little 4-acre field here. My dad just showed up. He's gonna take me back. I'm gonna get supper and then bring some more seed back with me. I got some soybeans loaded on the truck here. Gonna head back over now. They got the alfalfa chopped. They were done by early evening. I'm planning to go plant until dark and then we'll pick up early in the morning. Park the truck right there so I can load seed once I need it. Gonna do this field now. This is one that I just sprayed the triticale. It was planted at a lower rate and it's kind of an annoying small field. This one should plant better. Just planted a bit here and you can just see the difference. Look at how soft the dirt is in this field. Right there they are. These are closing up really nicely. There's a seed right there. So yeah, well, it's still worth it because we got that extra crop off of those acres, but it just makes it a little bit harder to plant the next one. So the way you do that is, right here is the drive that comes off. This wheel runs on the wheel of the planter and ends up spinning the shaft here. And there's 2 gears that you can change, switch out to different sizes to adjust the speed that it runs the meters. So I just loosen this here a little bit. You can take this chain off. So I have 26, which is just how many spokes are on this gear right here. This is a 26 and a 27. Looking at my chart, I'm gonna drop it back to 26 drive, 28 driven, and that should adjust it back a little bit. Hopefully it'll be right then. Here's the 28. I just tighten the chain with this spring right here. Turns this, now it's tight. And that should slow it down. Soybean seeds for the planter and sunflower seeds for me. It's starting to get dark. I'm gonna at least finish this small field up here. It's almost 9 o'clock. Gonna shut this off and pick it up in the morning.